Hey guys, welcome to D&D with Filthy and Friends. Special episode here, another one-off episode, this time being DM'd by Steve today. So a quick introduction of our players and DMs. The man doing the funny dance over there is, of course, Steve from JoINrbs streaming in YouTube channels. Next up is Dolphin, who's our guest today from the DolphinChemist YouTube or Twitch channel, excuse me. If you haven't checked him out, absolutely go do so. I'll put links in the video description below. Next up is Adam from Alt F4 Gaming YouTube channel, then Kevin, Xilo, and then myself, FilthyRobot. So anyways, looking forward to this episode. We got a special episode for you guys. Gonna hopefully be a lot of fun. And we get to see Steve's first attempt at DMing. So that should be exciting too. What are we doing, Steve?
Attempt to being the key word.
Yeah. Well, let's not judge too harshly too soon. Let's give him at least a few minutes to hang himself.
I want to stamp some of that hope out right from the start. This is not intended to be fun. I'm coming at this from a very tragic comedic storytelling point. This is not a story about your heroes succeeding against all odds and being bastions of power and hope in the world. This is a story about your heroes being sort of comparatively shit to the other powers in the world and just sort of doing their best, and we'll see what happens. If you want to get into the really dark parts,
D&D, you're saying?
Yeah.
If you want to get into the really dark parts of the role playing and the characterization, go for it. There's also going to be lots of stuff that's intended to be funny and enjoyable, and you can get into that too. I think we always have that. And it should be good.
And do you want us to fake laugh when we know you're intending to be funny, but we didn't actually find it funny?
There isn't any of that. It is a little bit adult in theme. There will be violence, there will be sex, there will be drugs. There will be no sexual violence, though, so it's only to a certain level. It's intended to be respectful, but if you're a child watching at home, do not tell your parents. And other than that...
It makes it slightly awkward it's going on my channel, and that's the disclaimer we get. This is all news. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So Steve's limit was sexual violence, but there's still going to be everything in between. Got it.
Welcome to Port Nyanzaru party. The port is a large city on the jungle continent of Chult. The weather is hot and humid and frankly unbearable. Your party has been adventuring in the jungles of Chult for a year or more to gather enough time to build up a bond and trust amongst one another, and also enough time to realize that this job really isn't that great. It's okay, and there are parts about it you like, but you really feel like the adventuring grind, it's like you graduated from college and you're trying to get into the MBA, but it's been 3 years now, and you're starting to sort of pick up the clues that you're not quite gonna make it that far.
Is this just a long extended metaphor for streaming right now?
Not intentionally, but maybe.
Okay.
So your party has decided to approach this problem by looking for a way out, and you've pooled your party funds and invested in a racing dinosaur. Now, the guy who sold you this racing dinosaur was very emphatic that this was one of the best dinosaurs. You could expect return on this money. And today is the first day of your racing dinosaur's racing career. The sun is rising over the harbor. The city is slowly waking up as the air turns from a gloom to a more bright golden glow. And you are all decked out in your team attire. I think you guys decided to call the dinosaur Big Thad.
Yep.
Is that Big Thad? So you've got your Big Thad t-shirts on. You got the bling. You got the necklaces with your dinosaur.
Need a little tiny bit of context there. Thaddeus is Kevin's character in the other campaign. He plays a very surly dwarf. And he's a paladin who likes to hit things. So this is Big Thad the dinosaur. So that's for Dolphin. So just for context.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's good context.
And you should see
I'd like to point out that I wasn't part of that vote. I had no idea that was a team name.
You just weren't around. We made it in good faith on your behalf, we thought.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
So as we watch the party approach the racetrack, we see it's headed by Raynor, the grizzled and combat-scarred barbarian that's piloted by Xilo, and sort of to his right and then his left, sort of dashing in and out, sort of playfully, but also in a way that betrays immense martial discipline. wind chi sort of parries and feints around him, just sort of playing as they wander through the city. Standing in the midst of the party, looking a lot like a tree and generally about as sentient, there's Rarely Eats Others, a lizardman diplomat who joined the party for some reason and gets along with them somewhat. And actually riding his shoulders right now is Dolist, the most recent party acquisition, a halfling fighter, great with a bow and eager for treasure. Bringing up
And
the back,
bite-sized.
sort of wandering around the sides, is Shaylin, played by Adam, a wild magic fey child sorcerer. She's sort of out there on the perimeter, seeing what happens if she tries to set things on fire with her hands and stuff right now. So, the racetrack is here. It's a giant racetrack. It's been around for thousands of years, and before you stands the door to the stables where you can tend to your dinosaur. Take it away.
Where's Wind Chi?
Do you not-
I was there. Oh,
Everybody's in the... Yeah.
You
everybody's
described
in the
Winchi. If you missed it, it's
What's can you describe what's here to our right?
To your right is it's a doorway into, so it actually goes underground a little bit, and below the level of the racetrack there are stables where the dinosaurs are housed and fed between races. You can actually get underneath the racetrack from in here, and there are lifts which bring the dinosaurs up onto the racetrack, so that they don't
okay.
walk in from the side. They actually come up.
So is this the door here?
That's the door right in front of you. Yep.
Okay.
And we are racing immediately, or we have some time before that. And
The race doesn't start until this afternoon. You're just getting in early, making sure the dinosaur's well fed. You know, I'm not sure who's riding, but you may need to go
He's a
through the
rider?
ritual.
Of course
Oh,
you
yeah.
got a rider.
Yes.
How many people usually ride Big Thad on a race? During a race?
Who's our rider? We need to
I suspect that it's one rider. I'm hopeful that it's not like a bobsled fucking dinosaur where
You have to push it and then all hop on the back of it. Yeah.
there's 5 of us that jumpstart it by running behind it, kicking it in the ass, and then we climb up its tail. I'm
fire bolts at its bum.
Right.
Faster.
Can we see the track from here?
Yeah, describe the track. What is it?
You can't see the track. You know what it is, so I've
Okay.
revealed it already. It's a big oval track with a divider down the middle, so the dinosaurs just run round in big ellipses. There are huge stands on the northwest and east sides of the track for housing, the massive race day crowds. This is a central attraction for the largest city on the continent. This is a big...
And how many circuits do they normally do?
Your dinosaur or one that's going to win?
What dictates that the race ends? That's what I'm getting at.
It's usually about a 5-minute race. There are different categories and things. Open the door before we get all the way into racing.
Okay, we'll open the door.
How many opponents are there?
There are 8 stables for dinosaurs.
Okay.
8 dinosaurs are in this, and it's 15 foot across?
No, there's eight stables.
So as you open the door, that's hiding area. As you open the door and walk down into the stables, one of your favorite things of coming to the track is that it gets you out of the hot climate of the city. There have actually been so many dinosaurs shipped in here from all around that the seeds on them have created a different microclimate and sort of cooler. There are hundreds of unique plants which you wouldn't see elsewhere in the city. Just a very pleasant room to be in. And as you walk in, you notice that it's strangely quiet.
Sorry.
You can see what is the name of the Khajiits? The Dungeons and Dragons cat in front of you. Screaming wind.
I don't remember.
Khajiits. Let's get enough.
Khajiit?
We all know
we know
what you mean.
Cat person.
Something is obviously wrong. It is way too quiet. You can't hear the dinosaurs right now. And you can see, some of you are expert trackers, you can see that Screaming Wind, the sole proprietor of this racetrack, has walked down the stables just before you. She just arrived for work herself, and she's obviously distressed. Her tracks are natural, and then she's running, and now you see her fall into her knees at the end of the corridor, weeping loudly.
And what's the proprietor's name? Screaming something? What?
Screaming Wind. You also notice that all of the doors to the dinosaur stables are open. And looking in this one, did any of you think to take animal handling?
Yes.
As a matter of
Make
fact,
an animal handling roll. Look at
I
this
am
dinosaur.
amazing at animal handling.
All right.
Like that.
I'm a little bit more.
Very
amazing.
nice, guys. Very nice. That is the only time in the campaign you'll be using animal handling. The dinosaur's fucking dead. Like anyone could have. I mean, you've got a context, presumably.
Wait. I spent my entire fortune on a dead dinosaur? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, Steve.
Who picked this fucker out? Did you check its teeth? What's going on here?
So why is it dead?
Can I?
Why is it dead?
Yeah.
It looks as though it went down without much of a fight. You can tell that somebody's been in the room with it. Somebody who
Yeah, but
was
is
not
it
part of
dead
your
from
team.
stabbed to death? Dead from bits of it?
No, it looks like
Poisoned.
died of sickness or poison or old age. I don't know. if
So
you
as
guys
long as
knew
you-
how
Age,
old
better
the
not be
dinosaur
bloody
was.
old age. So my first thought is, and I'll say this: we must find who sold it to us and kill them.
Is that our dinosaur?
That's your dinosaur. That's Big Thad.
Well, it's been a great game. Thanks everyone for coming. Our racing dinosaur is dead, and see you next time we play, right?
The other ones are dead too, huh?
Well, the next one that you look at is dead as well, much the same way.
What's our relationship to this proprietor? Like, would we
She knows you. You're
Do you
one
think
of
we
the
would feel
teams.
the urge to go over and console this person, or are they like a business professional to us, or like are we on friendly terms?
They're a business professional who you've had dinner with once or twice.
Can we investigate the body to see if we can glean any more details from it?
Agreed.
Yeah, sure. Do you have an investigator specifically in the party?
I'd like to just look for real obvious signs. Like if it's poison, there might be like vomit or like diarrhea or something like to suggest that it's killed it.
Okay.
Like there's been internal issues, like anything like that.
So
Yeah,
there's nothing. There's nothing that screams out to you that it's a poison that makes sense to you. Although it's pretty safe to say that it's some sort of poison or illness. The lady screaming about her dinosaurs might know more is another thing you glean from your investigation roll.
Okay.
We're gonna say that you do need proficiency to make rolls in general,
Okay.
as long as your party has somebody who has proficiency.
So
Do we have
I think
someone
Welsh-
proficient in investigation? I bet you we don't. No int characters.
Probably. You have no in character. Okay, so anyone can make investigation rolls, I guess.
Okay.
I guess while they're doing that, then I'm gonna go over to this.
I guess I do have perception. I might notice a like weird dust around the mouth or something.
What's my passive investigation skill? Steve?
Would you stop it? You're such a.
So many inside jokes.
I'm gonna roll my active perception and see if I can spot like.
I already
Weird.
tried that. He didn't ask for a roll. I asked if I could
Not
look
on,
for anything.
not
sketchy.
on this dinosaur. There isn't anything useful to you that you can see on this dinosaur.
And there are twin dinosaurs dead over here. A couple of them. Is that relevant or just?
A lot of dinosaurs just look the same to people who don't understand their species.
But I have a very strong animal handling background, and I just try to make sense of what this means to have them so similar.
Here, I'm going to angle them slightly differently to confuse you less.
Perfect.
So
Does-
is this the first time that we're like inspecting what we bought, like right before a race?
Hmm?
No, we weren't inspecting.
This-
We were coming down to like set up, get ready.
This is like your team's first race ever, so you're just super excited.
Right. Okay.
You were
Not
like,
anymore.
at the tavern last night drinking, getting hyped, and now you're at the arena ready. You're gonna have like people outside yelling about your dinosaur to the crowd.
So let me check. How long have we owned this dinosaur? Like 2
less than a
days
week.
or less than a week?
It was sold to you in racing shape. Yeah.
So we've hung out with it. We've watched it run around. We've watched that it hasn't like crapped itself for the last week and a half.
Right.
Yeah, it seemed like a functioning dinosaur as far as you could tell. And
Lovely.
you are capable animal handlers.
All right.
Are we?
Do any of you want to?
Two of us are.
I mean, I could certainly go approach the proprietor, but I'm not sure that that's really the face that we want. Would one of you perhaps like to do that? Okay.
Is this
Yes.
person? You said that she was. Is it a she or a he?
It's a she.
She's
Screaming
on
one.
her knees. Is she with her back turned
She's
to me, or
like-
can she see me? Or
She's a tabaxi. That's the name. She's a beautiful black tabaxi woman. You can tell that she cares a huge amount about her parents. She's dressed in the finest silks that she could reasonably buy, but she's now like dragging them through the dirt and clawing her hair out and stuff. She's obviously immensely upset.
okay, is she turned away from me, or could she see as I approach?
She knows that you're there, but she's inside her own mind at the moment.
Alright,
She
so
doesn't
I'm gonna
really
walk-
acknowledge you
I'll
unless
come
you're
up to her and cat friend, this one sees your sadness. Oh, let this one help. What has happened?
I've lost everything. I worked for years to try to...
You would know that the city of Nyanzaru is ruled by a merchant prince class, and there isn't really a middle class. Going from the lower classes to somebody who matters is immensely impossible, and this is a woman who almost did.
But now it's all gone. I can't come back. 8 dinosaurs in one day. All the gold. All of the teams that I'll lose. Please. Oh, not like this. Your adventures. Your adventures. I know. Here. I found this pouch on the last dinosaur. Take it. Find who did this. Kill them. I'll give you everything I have left. Kill them. Kill them.
Oh, this one will do as you ask, friendly one. I take the pouch. I open it.
I will now read the description of the pouch.
I wait till they're
So-
all over that way, and then I go look for meat off one of these dinosaurs that could be eaten.
There's a satchel, and it's actually a very distinct. I just heard what Filthy said. It's a very distinct satchel. Anybody in the city who's anybody, like, this is sort of like Prada except for criminals. Like, you'd recognize Prada. This is like a satchel with that sort of brand recognition made specifically for criminals. You know where the guy who makes this is. He lives in the ravine south of the city. It's like a poor district, sort of. You see a symbol on it. You're not sure what it means. You see that there's a secret pouch in it, which contains a vial that would have held poison. It's all being given to you very clearly right now. You
Okay.
don't need any rolls for this one. This is cut and dry.
Which
Do we
makes
know
it,
if
which makes it extremely suspicious.
Right.
Like, who
might
leaves
be
a
I say we
Yeah.
just decline this quest and go find
we know
another
if-
racing dinosaur.
Just call it all a sunk cost and be like, well, I guess we're still adventurers, guys. Let's go find the next job.
back into the jungle, men, right?
500
And ladies.
gold. 500 gold. To kill whoever did this.
She says, she hears you say this.
I'm
Not there.
down for wreaking some vengeance. Life doesn't matter, but this was my retirement.
What else can we do? We're screwed right now. Do any of us have any cash to even get out of here right now? I mean, it'd be a one-way trip.
We can, like, walk out of town and look for a temple to pillage, but otherwise we're hooped.
All right.
I guess we just go there then, right?
That's what a variety adventurer would do.
I think the thing I was going to ask was maybe if she had any enemies that she could think of, but I guess if we already know where the person who made the bag is, we just go there, right?
Well,
Enemy
yes,
location?
except
I have no enemies. I was never powerful enough to have enemies in this city. I haven't crossed anyone. All I've done is
Who
work,
owns the teams?
made friends,
I
and
was just going to think maybe the next step is just the team. Like, because if these are each dinosaur has a team, does a team have an enemy? And maybe the rest are just
generally
like.
privately owned, like ours is, or are they generally?
there are dinosaurs which would be sponsored by merchant princes. There are
Yeah.
dinosaurs who are privately owned. There are dinosaurs which are owned by her as
And
well.
all of these are dead, right?
All of them are dead.
Are there
There's no
private dinosaur
discrimination at
stables
all.
in the city? So all of the
I mean,
dinosaurs.
yes, but all the dinosaurs who are racing are here and dead.
Are there other places where dinosaur races take place, or is this like the Colosseum in Rome? And this is like
This
the
is like
only
the
place?
Colosseum. This is
Okay.
There isn't really competition. This is state sponsored. This is an attack this is more like an attack on the city's livelihood than it is like an attack on her, but she is the person who's in charge of it, so she's going to be the one who's completely ruined.
And
Along
it's
with
not,
you guys.
it's not personal. It's not a particular prince. It's all dinosaurs. So it's
Well, maybe what we know right now is there's only 8 here, and these are the.
well,
other
it's
ones.
all
There's-
8. I mean,
It,
it's
yeah, but
not.
it could be the next batch of dinosaurs are the ones that they want to be sold, or that those will be the winners because these ones are out of the way. You know, these were like I assume the reigning champions of all the dinosaurs, and if there's
Sure.
more being raised outward, there could be other people benefiting from these ones being killed.
So who stands to benefit?
Yeah.
That's super rude.
500
people.
shiny trinkets.
It's okay, dear. We will right this wrong.
Yes, this one, this friendly one. And she points towards Raynor. He will go crashing and bashing and kill the fiend who did this. This one will
What?
protect that one, as that one kills the enemy of you one, cat friend.
She looks now disoriented as well as upset.
And she's so Shaylin sort of turns to the party. Come, friends, let us
Hmm.
go find the enemies of this one and help this one.
I want to
I-
eat part of this dinosaur, Steve. Do I need to do anything for that?
Be discreet, I guess.
Could you not eat our dinosaur just as a
That's-
favor?
That's the one. What are you talking about? We paid good money for this. I'm just gonna let it go.
I mean,
to
no one
waste.
can see you right now.
Yeah, I'm not asking.
You didn't even have to tell us, to be honest.
I was telling
Just
you as the
done it
DM,
and-
not everybody
Alright.
else's players.
That's
And,
fine.
and it might have been poisoned. I want to point that out. So the
It-
meat,
Oh,
you know,
right.
Yeah, it's too late for
Was
that. I wasn't.
almost with
it's a good way
certainty
of
poison.
checking if
Yeah.
you're going to eat it.
Right.
You know, we might know. You know,
I'm
hey,
gonna, I'm gonna
I-
have some.
I was thinking that, and I decided not to mention that just in case it cost him.
That's actually a good idea from like an investigative point of view.
That's right.
Right.
I'm
That it was
investigating.
poisoned. Yeah. Okay. I'm
That's-
behind this now.
Actually,
Tastes
as long
like
as you're
raw
at it,
dinosaur.
could
Say
you
what?
eat his liver too?
yeah.
What am I? What did you say,
Some
Steve? I didn't hear you.
barbecue.
It tastes like raw dinosaur.
That's amazing. It's good then, is what you're saying? All right.
Chicken.
So
Like chicken.
I'll eat just a little bit. It's almost ritualistic the amount I eat, and then I will head back into the corridor, and
All right.
I'll approach Adam's character and I'll say, "Noisy meat, are you done here?"
I think we're done here.
Hello, scaly one. Yes. These ones spoke with cat one, and we need to go kill unfriendly ones.
And eat.
Yes. You may
Okay.
eat. And she just sort of gently pats the top of Rayleigh's head.
Yes, a great injustice has been done, and we must set it right.
Got to get our gold back somehow.
Goddamn right.
All right.
Should we go to that place then, I guess? Is that our first
So-
lead?
Dullest, I think you and I should hang out together because the rest of these folks, I'm not so sure about.
Am I the only one freaking out here right now? Like, what are we going to do if we don't get our gold back?
There's no
We have
time.
nothing right now, so I think we get moving.
But you're new to the group, right? So, or a little bit newer to the group, it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is just the MO of an adventurer's life. It's all fucking steep hills and massive valleys, and this is like the
Uh-huh.
next up and down of our life thus far.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's
Well-
get to it.
And that was all my gold. You don't understand. That was all the gold I had. So
So
No. You do not understand. You can kill your way out of any bad situation.
fine.
the other thing to keep in mind is we're about to make a plan and abandon it as soon as we start. So just so you're prepared.
Thanks. I'll be ready for that.
So, what do we know about this location that we're going to?
About the ravine?
It's just like a bag maker's place. Like, what do we know about it?
The satchel shop. The satchel shop it's just a bag maker's shop. He's very recognizable because he makes messenger bags for basically everyone in the city. They're the highest quality bags, and they have secret symbols on them that represent who they belong to, what they're being used for, and often have secret pouches inside them, which are used for smuggling.
Okay,
So he's a little extra legal, somewhat,
Okay.
but a
So-
fixture of the city.
So we don't assume it's the bag maker, but the bag maker will know where the culprit is.
He's likely to know something.
He'll
Unless-
know who. What he'll know is who he sold the bag to.
Right.
Right. For all we know, the person's bag, or the owner of the bag, could be being framed.
That's true, but
That's most likely.
we'll find out after we kill him.
All right.
What?
So
like
is the
Raymond.
guy himself, does he have criminal associations? I mean, it seems like you mentioned the bag is like the Prada of criminal bags. So is this guy a little bit on the seedy side, on top of being well
By all
known?
accounts, he's a very reasonable shopkeeper. His prices are fair. His
Mhm.
clientele may not be quite as reasonable, but he
Straightforward
manages to
business.
conduct himself without that really blemishing him.
Okay.
Sounds like a legitimate mafia businessman.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. You guys want to...
What did you,
Wanna
did you
head
say something
that
about
way?
a ravine?
He lives in the ravine.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah,
Shall
I guess
we?
I think
Shall-
we go there. Right.
Let's go.
The ravine.
Are we all going? Let's all 5 stand in his shop.
Absolutely.
All right, it's a great idea. Just for context, these green blops I originally thought were dung that had been swept into the corner of the racing thing, but now they're all over the courtyard too.
Those are
trees.
trees.
Ah,
Those are
good,
trees.
good.
The city is full of living green things everywhere. And
Could also be full of dinosaur dung. I mean, that would follow.
it is.
Are we sure they're
But
trees?
I didn't. That wasn't available on the map maker,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah. So we should be careful where we're stepping beneath these trees.
Yes. So the ravine is the sort of southern district of Port Nyanzaru. It is a apparently naturally made ravine. It has been turned into a place for the poor to live. As you walk, this shop happens to be at the very base of the ravine, but walking through it, looking up, you see both sides of the ravine just lined with like huts built into the sides of the ravine, rope bridges and ladders and stuff connecting them, and the place is entirely teeming with life in ways which seem incredibly impractical and unsafe. Down at the bottom of the ravine, there's so much in the way of like tree canopy and houses and bridges above you that the daylight is barely even making it through. It's very cool, a little bit breezy, and you're just wandering in a fairly large crowd. The city is starting to wake up, and this is a busy spot. You know that the bag maker's shop is to your east. I'm going to reveal it on the map because you know where you're going, but there are going to be things between you and it, so you get to discover those on your own.
Okay. All right.
So the way you describe this place, it sounds like the perfect place to be ambushed.
It is the perfect place. I mean, what?
Cool. As long as we have this established. All right. Onward.
This way, friendly ones. We must find the back one.
As we approach this, I will put a hand over whoever's in front, and I'll turn to Dolphin's character, and I'll say, "Snack pack, perhaps you can go ahead and check for us."
Yeah, I'll go ahead and scout. So I kind of walk up along that wall to the south,
That's great.
and I try to kind of check around to see if there's anybody that's maybe looking in our direction intently, anybody that's maybe along the rooftops, anybody that's peering around any corners similar to us.
You do see one person noticing you sort of oddly. He is, can you like make a religion or a history roll or something, Dolphin, to Seeing
Sure.
how much you'd know about this guy.
Yeah.
Do you need to know the trick?
Yeah, I got it.
Perfect. Well done.
You can tell that this guy, he's dressed up in some sort of religious order's clothes, and he's sitting with a woman. Spring is in the air. It's a beautiful morning. They're just enjoying time out and about, and he's looking at you instead of her, and he's looking at you very intently, and sort of, he looks puzzled, and he doesn't look hostile. He looks puzzled and curious.
I mean, it's hot. What are you wearing? Like, are you just like no shirt or like, real revealing?
What am I
no,
wearing, or?
No, I know what you're wearing. I can see you. I'm talking to Dolphin. I'm kind of curious.
Oh,
about
what
the
am I
interactions.
wearing? I'm wearing kind of a vest, light clothing otherwise. So really pretty easy to get around in.
You haven't like turned up the sex appeal today for any reason, or
No, I haven't turned up the sex appeal at all. No, I was planning on. I have my Big Thad, T-shirt on, so we haven't changed that at all. You have to realize we're walking around the city wearing our Big Thad gear, so we do kind of stick out like a sore thumb. Unless Jorbs, did we go back home to change out of our Big Thad gear, or are we still?
No,
We're
you're
still
still
Big Thad gear.
blinged out.
Actually.
Yeah,
I
but
feel
keep
like
in
a racing
mind,
team.
We kind of do have a target on our backs right now. People know. You mentioned Jorbs. It sounds like people know about the dinosaur races, so I imagine they notice us. Maybe that's why he's looking at us. I don't know.
I think he makes a good point there. Maybe we should, if we're investigating the death of our dinosaur, we should probably take off the stuff that shows we're related to our dinosaur.
I mean, it's just a T-shirt we have on overwards, right? Like, I'm literally wearing. I'm a lizard. I wear literally nothing. I'm just totally naked except for this fucking T-shirt that says Big Thad on it. I mean, it's not going to bother me too much one way or the other. I am just putting up with this strange social custom of yours right now.
I think even if we take the T-shirts off and kind of reverse them and put them back on, I think we'll stand out enough that people will still probably notice what's going on. So I don't know if that's going to be enough. But we have any reason of numbers to think of why this guy might be curious looking at us. We don't know him personally at all, based on the history roll or anything like that. And the woman doesn't seem interested in us, though. You mentioned the man's kind of looking at us.
True.
He's walking over to you.
Oh, okay. I kind of stand away from the wall and kind of look natural.
He looks starstruck. He looks like somebody might look meeting a celebrity who they have been a fan of for their entire life. He sort of stammers. He says, you should visit the grove to the south. You, and he points specifically at you, Dolist. You need to visit the grove to the south.
Great to meet you, stranger. What's waiting for me in the grove?
It's the grove of our order. I probably shouldn't be talking to you, but my master will know what to say.
Thank you for the recommendation. Who's your master?
My master, Hamish Hawkfoot, a cleric of the cult of Thaddeus, worshippers of Moradin.
So I kind of get a little closer to him. It seems like right now. I mean, how close am I at this point? Like 5 feet? Are there any discernible details? Now that I'm a little bit closer to him, does he have? Is there anything odd about his face or anything along those lines?
He's definitely dressed in religious garb. He, can you make like an intuition roll?
Sure.
Insight.
Did you
Yeah.
say cult of Thaddeus?
Yeah.
Cult of Thaddeus. 15 insight. He shouldn't be out with a girl in the morning in his religious garb. Like, you can tell from like context clues and the way he's conducting himself that he doesn't really want to make a stir and be seen himself. But he is very, very interested in you.
Oh, interesting. I ask him, do we happen to know each other?
I guess in some senses yes, but in others no.
Okay.
I am a cleric of the cult of Thaddeus myself, and there are those who walk among us in this world who have been touched by him. I can sense from your aura that you are one of them. Tell me, are you some sort of hero, a halfling like yourself, but carrying such weapons? You must surely stand out amongst your people.
Can we all hear this conversation?
If you're close enough. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, many would consider me a hero among my people. And I do think I'd be interested in meeting your master. Meanwhile, I am kind of hesitantly looking towards the group, kind of obviously freaked out by who I think is a crazy person. So at this point, I kind of start maybe stepping back a little bit towards the group.
I'll walk up, and underneath my t-shirt, you can kind of see there's a blood stain on the front of the t-shirt that I've stashed some meat in between the t-shirt and my chest. Some of the dinosaur meat they have there, so it's starting to drip a little bit in the heat. And I'll approach Dolphin's character, and I'll say, "Snack pack, is everything okay here?"
Yes, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Just meeting a new friend as we go on our way.
Would we know anything about this
The lean
cult?
one, I asked questioningly.
Would you know anything about this cult? Is anybody proficient in religion or history?
No.
Not me.
Kevin, you're muted.
Still muted.
I said I used to be, but now I can just do a backflip.
Okay.
Okay. No, you're not into that. You do dinosaur racing mostly.
That's fine. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we check out this grove?
So, Rio, you're actually like way at the entrance here. You're not near Dullest at
I'll
all.
drag the portrait over if it makes it more believable for you.
Thanks.
Rio. Oh, I like that.
Kevin, sneakily, I mean gracefully, probably more like walks over to get a better look at the girl. She just looks like a regular girl. She's looking over at her guy. She's dressed up sort of nice. Looks like they're out on a date.
So she does look enamored of him, not like it was a business meeting.
Yeah, she looks like they're good friends, or maybe more.
And can I see further to the east at this point?
It just looks like more ravine. This isn't to scale, so I mean the little rooms that you're seeing are entire houses. Just the ravine continues on winding, and the staircases like this one here that would go up to like higher levels of the city. There's an entire vertical dimension above you as well.
Okay.
And if we were to go up there, could we still go around the rim, kind of?
If you went up the stairs, it would be a lot more difficult to traverse. It's sort of like the main thoroughfare versus side streets, and the side streets are rope bridges and immensely populated. Also, I didn't make a map for it, so, you know.
So, fuck you. Right. Got it.
Which route would we take to get to the shop? Like, do we know it's going east or do
Go
we know it's
east
going south?
for the shop or south for the grove.
All right, so
I feel like we have a very good reason to go to the shop, and a crazy person is telling us to go south.
Yeah.
so do we want to? What do we want to do?
Flip a coin.
I think we
That's valid.
I think we split up and make sure we send somebody to the basement too.
I hate that suggestion. Well, I'm all for it.
I just don't want to be left alone with this guy in the cult. I've been making my way back a couple feet at a time since having the conversation.
He's a little bit too big of a fan.
Yeah.
I think we still head east. We're trying to make money, not meet Hamish Hawkfoot the cultist. I'm inclined to keep heading east.
Yeah.
Same here.
I'm perfectly happy staying away from the Grove.
Okay.
I think we should go there eventually.
I think so
Eastward.
too. Maybe when he's not there.
All right.
All right.
So we'll keep.
So you're
heading east
just
then, it sounds like.
wandering further east.
Yes. And Rainer
The-
will wink at the young lady when he walks by.
She blushes. The city is, slowly waking up. People are walking to their jobs. Street vendors are getting their stalls set up, stuff like this. As you're walking through here, can I get perception checks from actually everyone in the group? Give me a perception roll.
Perception roll. I'm great at perception.
You guys are very good at this. Raynor rarely eats others, and Shaylin all notice what is presumably meant to be a very subtle thievery attempt. A fish hook lowers down from a bridge above your party as you're walking along and latches on to the golden bling that Dolist has around his neck for Team Thad. Got the big shiny
medallion
necklace thing.
Yeah.
The fish hook just sort of hooks on and whoop,
Can I try
Pushes
to
it away.
reaction?
Yeah.
To grab
Can-
the hook.
Let's see. You're relatively close. Give me a sleight of hand to
Could
try
it
to
be,
grab the hook.
Okay.
You successfully grab the hook. You take 1 piercing damage and yell in pain.
Ah!
Friends, the small one. We're being robbed.
And the hook goes away. You see there's
Thank you.
a youngish woman on the other end of the hook, sitting above you, and she just leaves. You're
How
just
high up
gone.
is she?
She's about 30 feet up, and she's off in the crowd now. You saw her for a second, and your stuff is gone.
Wait,
Continue.
she had a fishing pole.
Yeah. Apparently, she has a hanging hook, which she managed
Hook
to
on a rope.
hook
This
on a rope,
is-
pull
this
it
is-
over his neck. And
This
take it
is
from him.
like
He is a-
pickpocketing. You know that this is a thing that happens. Maybe you as
Ooh.
players don't, but
They
as
call it
characters in the
tourist
city,
fishing.
you're not super surprised that
Do we want to
know.
pursue her to get this back?
I mean, it's just a cheap
It's got a-
fucking Thaddeus medallion rather with an overlay of expensive looking gilding over clearly worthless metal. I mean, it's not much to be bothered with, I don't think.
Otherwise, we would have sold it and left town when
At
Big
some
Thad
level,
died.
she's
Yeah.
essentially spreading our brand for us for
Right.
free.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed mostly, so I don't want to make a big deal out of it. I didn't even notice that it was getting stolen from me.
Careful, snack pack. There are people here who mean you ill will. I'll say.
I'm gonna take off my Big Thad shirt, stuff
Yeah,
it
me
in my
too.
pack.
I'm gonna throw it in the closest bush or tree or whatever.
I'm gonna keep mine on until I'm done eating the meat that I've stashed there, and once I see everyone else throw it away, I'll wait until I've finished eating, then I'll toss mine as well.
All right. So as you wander forward, you hear a voice calling pretty loudly. Romeo! Romeo, where the hell are you? Romeo! And you see 3 men in various forms of armor and holding weaponry, sort of sitting idly in the center of the ravine. The crowd is dispersed around them. They're obviously, not good stuff, and people don't really want to have anything to do with it.
So
And
they're
you
not
see
performers. This actually seems to be the crowd's avoiding, not surrounding and watching.
avoiding.
Okay.
Correct. And you see Dolist's necklace get chucked to the one who appears to be the leader, sort of standing most prominently from up above in the city somewhere. He sort of catches it and smiles at you.
Noisy meat. See if they will want to invest in our racing team.
Do they look hostile? Like this is not a group of people we would want to directly approach.
They look like thugs.
They look like thugs.
Yeah.
Um,
And at the behest of the lizard man, I'm going to say, "Hello, friendly ones. You have our merchandise. Are you interested in helping us with our racing of dinosaurs? They are the biggest and the fastest ones in the realm."
Why, yes, actually, I do have your merchandise. That's correct. I run a business of item recovery in this ravine, and I was able to recover your stolen merchandise just like that. I can have it back to you for a reasonable sum of 50 gold. If you'll just hand that over.
I would presume that
Just payment for services rendered, really.
the
You can
value
go
of
on
the
our
medallion
way.
is probably, about 5 copper. Maybe
Call it 5 silver. It's still nothing.
You weren't completely broke when you forked out for the medallions. You tried to get good medallions.
These are like plastic
Oh.
Mardi Gras beads, though, more than they are.
They're like, this is like a year of adventuring, and then you invested all of your money into it and stuff.
So
we were trying to
It's
make
not
a
worth
guess.
50 gold. There's no way it's worth 50 gold, but it's not worthless.
we didn't invest 100% of the money in the dinosaur. We invested in the business, which included the shirts and reasonable trinkets, not junk trinkets, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, this one is in awe of your one's strength and ability of item finding. That is gracious. Please, give me the necklace, and I shall repay you in full gold.
Juliet, look at this one, Juliet. And he looks up at the woman up above. You're gonna have to give us the gold now, and we can return the item to you then. A lot of people are untrustworthy in this ravine. It's just our way of doing business.
I agree. We've just met. Why should I trust you?
Look, maybe 25 gold would be more reasonable. You're new here, I can tell. You don't understand how things are meant to happen, and it would be too bad if something went wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And he looks at you very forcefully.
I turn to Xylo's character as he says this, and I say, "First to die, maybe you can have a talk with him too."
Oh, this one doesn't mean to impeach on your one's kindness. I simply wish to hold my trinket again and give it to my beloved friend Dolus, as we do love him dearly, and he does love his trinkets. Please, it is only to please my friend. I will surely give you the money. Surely this one trusts this one.
Make a persuasion roll.
While he's doing that, can you give me a sense of what these folks look like? Armor, or what weapons they're carrying, caster stuff, whether anyone's wearing a pointy hat with stars and moons on it, that sort of thing.
The images on their tokens are representative of what they have if you zoom in on them. There's a very, very burly guy, huge arms. Seems sort of lightly armored, but he's like huge. The leader you're talking to is this guy with a mace. This is Romeo. And man sort of stands behind them with a spear and shield as well.
Okay.
All right,
Roll.
so persuasion roll. Look, I respect enterprising relationships, and I can tell that your friend means a lot to you, and that means something to me too. I can give it to you for 20 gold, or I can just take the 20 gold off you by telling Bear to take it.
I'm going to interrupt at this point. We have a problem, and the solution is either that you leave us alone, or we have to kill you and stuff you in a bush. So can we get on with the way this is going to turn out? Because we're busy right now.
All right, Bear. It looks like we've got a bunch of wise guys again. Grab them.
Lovely. I'm going to
Bear's
punch him in his
gonna-
face.
Bear is going to attempt to grapple you.
Hold on just a
He
second,
gets
because this is
one
actually-
action as surprise, and then we need initiative.
Steve, this is a perfect time to cut the part. So before we let anything happen with that one way or the other, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying it, and we'll see you in just a minute. And is that gonna stop?